All right, today we're diving into a report from Star Nation News that paints a picture of our reality that is, well, it's going to challenge just about everything we've been taught. It claims our place in the cosmos and even our very recent history is totally different than we think. So let's get into it.
And right off the bat, we get this quote, which honestly sets the whole tone for everything we're about to cover. The idea here is that these huge changes we're going to talk about, they're not some movie we just get to sit back and watch. No, it's a reality we have to actively build. Keep that thought in your head because it's going to be a recurring theme.
Okay, so here it is, the core claim of the report. Just think about this for a second. It suggests that a silent, absolutely monumental war for control of our solar system has already been fought and won. And according to the source, that outcome changes literally everything for all of us.
So what was this war all about? Well, the source material describes this secret conflict, right? Not fought here on the ground with tanks and soldiers, but up there, in the space all around us. A war between forces vying for the future of humanity and our entire solar system.
Yeah, according to this report, this was a strategic campaign out in space to remove what the source calls regressive presences. These are groups that have allegedly been influencing humanity for thousands of years, and the victory, well, it's described as being incredibly swift and decisive.
So who were the antagonists, the bad guys in this cosmic conflict? The source points to three main groups that were defeated and kicked out of our system: the reptilian Sikar Empire, the Nebu Greys, and their alleged human partners in crime, the Dark Fleet. Okay, so you can't have a war this big without a whole bunch of different players, right? To really get a handle on the story being told here, we kind of need a scorecard. So let's break down who's who in this galactic drama.
All right, so here's the breakdown. On the positive side of the ledger, the report says the effort was led by the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and they were working hand in hand with a terrestrial white hat group called the Earth Alliance, and they got some help from the ancient Anar Empire. On the regressive side, you had the two main occupying forces, the Sikar and the Nebu empires.
Now let's just zoom in on this main positive group for a second. According to the source, the Galactic Federation of Worlds isn't some small team. We're talking about a massive interstellar organization. Think of it like a galactic-scale United Nations, with hundreds of thousands of member cultures, and a pretty powerful military arm that's all about protecting peace and freedom. So how did this whole liberation actually happen? Well, the source lays out a really clear and honestly surprisingly recent timeline of events that tipped the scales for good.
So check this out. This all supposedly kicked off in July of 2021. That's when these Jupiter agreements were signed, making the alliance official. By the end of that same year, Mars was reportedly liberated. And then, just a few months later, in early 2022, the final cleanup operations wrapped up, and the solar system was officially cleared of major hostile forces. It all happened incredibly fast.
Okay, so if the war's over, what's happening now? This is where the story goes from wow to no way. The report claims that massive projects, things involving brand new technology and planetary restoration, are already happening all across our solar system.
First up, let's head out to Saturn's moon Titan. An Earth Alliance mission has supposedly just finished studying ancient cities floating in Saturn's atmosphere. Get this, they brought back samples of a material that literally cancels mass, anti-gravity. Imagine what that could mean for technology right here on Earth.
Meanwhile, over on Mars, the report says a massive terraforming project is in full swing. But here's the part that really gets me. The goal isn't for us to go live there. It's to restore the planet's original Earth-like atmosphere to allow a native Martian population, who apparently survived for eons underground, to finally come back to the surface and reclaim their home.
And what about our own moon? It's now described as a secure base for the Earth Alliance. It's become a hub for manufacturing next-gen tech, and one of the biggest projects is the mass production of these things called medbeds, incredibly advanced healing devices that, according to the source, are already starting to be quietly rolled out here.
And as if all of that wasn't enough to process, there's something else going on, right now as we speak. The source material talks about a mysterious interstellar visitor passing through our solar system, an object they call 3I Atlas.
You know, our mainstream astronomers might look at it and say, oh, that's just a comet, or maybe a weird-looking asteroid passing through. But this report, it says that's not even close to the truth. Its real nature is something way more profound and way more alive.
So according to this report, 3I Atlas is not a chunk of ice and rock. Not at all. It's described as a living,
plasmic consciousness inside a vessel. It's said to be older than our solar system itself, a benevolent explorer that just travels from star to star, gathering information and, get this, feeding on their gravitational fields.
So what does all this mean for us? Right here, on Earth. A liberated solar system? Crazy new technologies? Cosmic visitors? The source is really clear on this point. It means we are at a turning point, a huge one.
And really, the big takeaway here is all about empowerment. The external negative influences, they're gone. The training wheels are off, so to speak. The future isn't something that just happens to us anymore. It's something we now have to actively, consciously create for ourselves. So how do we do it? How do we build this new reality? Well, the source gives us a pretty clear 3-step game plan. Number 1, stop feeding fear. Disengage from all the stuff that's designed to make us panicked and divided. 2, focus your thoughts and your energy on the positive future you actually want to live in. And 3, the most important step, take empowered action. The claim is that our collective efforts, that's the trigger for everything that comes next.
And this quote here, man, this one really brings it all home. The way forward isn't about controlling the world out there, but about mastering the world in here. It's about remembering our own power, our own potential, who we really are.
And that's the story, as presented in the Star Nation news report. It is a breathtaking, mind-bending vision of a new reality. One where humanity is finally free to write its own destiny among the stars. So the question isn't just if a new era has begun. The real question this report leaves us with is, what are we going to do with it?